Welcome back to another episode from the Optimal Body Podcast. I'm Doc Jen.
And I'm Dr. Dom.
Today we're talking about the 5 tips that you can use to really optimize what you feel in your body. So how do you create that optimal body? We're going to go through it. So make sure to comment below. Are you really incorporating these? Do you notice them? What are you neglecting? Let's dive into it.
So the 5 tips on how to optimize what you are feeling in your body. We can really distill it down to 5 measly little tips.
I think so. So how do you create the optimal body? We're going to tell you how in these 5 ways. So we're going to talk about what exactly these are, how you incorporate them, and make sure that you're using them to create this optimal body of your own. Because like what we say, there's no one optimal body, right? It's what you do in your life that's really going to create your optimal body to feel the way that you want to. And I think that's what's most important here.
And that's for me where that individuality comes in. And it's one of, I think, the overarching, it's almost like an umbrella to all the others. Like, okay, regardless of what's happening in the others, you have to understand that those first 4 that we listed are very individual to your own journey.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what I love so much about the Optimal Body membership and what you've done there in allowing people to explore and to learn what helps their body, what they feel more. Again, so beautiful the way that you've kind of formulated that membership, because it allows people and it gives them the license to just move.
We're shifting into allowing people to explore in a more coordinated fashion.
A little more directed way.
A directed way that's going to allow for that continued consistency, because I think that's the biggest drop off. If you don't tell me exactly what to do, when to do it, then how will I know I will maintain it?
Kind of the sad thing is you have created this incredible membership with all of this information. And I like how you said, like, hey, we need to have consistency. I feel like, though, some people come in and it can be a bit overwhelming, all of the information. And one of the first things we said is developing that awareness. We need to develop the awareness first. And if people come in and they aren't really aware of what works for them, and they aren't really aware of, hey, is this going to hurt the things that on me that might be achy, or, there's some of the pains I might have, or is this going to help? Like, they might just not be aware of that. The platform's going to really help with that and help direct them into some of these things that will give them the day by day, okay, try this. And then within the content, you educate so perfectly on ways to adjust. And here's where we really want to encourage y'all to go get in the Optimal Body membership now. Today, we just launched an incredible discount. We've only done this one time before. And like you said, the platform on Thinkific, the Optimal Body membership might be going away as we know it currently.
The program, the platform itself will always be there for those who have access to it.
Yeah.
But you won't be able to get access for much longer. It's 100% going to completely go away and transform into Jen platform. What's cool about this, if you get into the Optimal Body membership now, you get 50% off.
Check that out. And how are these things going to help us with the 5 key points on how to optimize the body? So, we brought up accountability or community. Such an amazing community in the Optimal Body. And we're going to cultivate such an amazing community in the platform in the future.
So one, accountability, I think, can look like a lot of different things. It doesn't just have to be community, because some people like to do their own thing. However, when you sign yourself up for something, you're holding yourself accountable. When you pay for something rather than just saving it for free, right? Oh, I'm just going to save it in this.
It's like everyone in the 30-day challenge that we're just finishing up.
Yeah.
The accountability and community within that is amazing. And in just 30 days, how much difference people felt and how much people started to form bonds with others from across the country.
Exactly.
Really
but
cool.
Again, just like committing to something. And then when we have a community that's moving in it, asking questions, I answer questions every week in the Optimal Body Facebook group.
Community tumbles into consistency, or that accountability tumbles into consistency. Because again, if we're holding ourselves accountable, if we're going to show up, if you've shown up for the 30-day challenge every day, you're already going to start noticing, oh, I'm more likely to do certain habits. I'm more likely to show up for myself on a day-to-day basis.
Nothing changes without consistent effort. And consistency doesn't have to mean every single day. It's not about beating ourselves up. It's about, providing this platform, this access to allow you to consistently come back to and gain awareness over time.
Well, I guess awareness.
No, awareness is huge.
Awareness is massive.
How do you get better if you don't have awareness of where you need to get better?
Yeah, and that's, again, especially in the platform, but also in the Optimal Body, you're constantly telling people, oh, is this something that you love? Did this something that you resonate? Did you feel it in your body? Come back to this. That's where you start to promote that awareness. When you do an exercise, when you do a movement, take a second to think, how did I feel during that? Where did I feel it in my body? What I feel? Am I perceiving that as good or bad or indifferent? In the platform, we're going to have self-assessments where you come in and you say, okay, I've had issues with my hips. You're going to then get some self-assessments that you can go through and then come back to and keep rechecking and find that awareness. And I find that I'm developing, that I'm progressing here.
And that's why I created the optimal body the way I did initially, because I didn't want you to just pinpoint and focus on one thing. I wanted to give you the opportunity to explore so you'll see how it all works together in the body.
Kind of that plays into our next point of having grace and compassion for yourself, that yes, we need to understand that we haven't been aware of these things for a long time in life, that it has maybe resulted in us operating or moving in a certain way or having behaviors of a certain type. And that's not a bad thing.
Grace is part of the journey, and it has to be. If you beating yourself up for like, I didn't do this, I should have done this, I could have done that, all you're doing is you're raising your stress levels within the body, which puts you more into that sympathetic space, which causes more tension throughout the body, causes more rigidity. You feel like you lose mobility, and you can potentially cause more pain. Like, the only way you really start to optimize your body is by having grace and compassion, knowing that there's phases in life that are going to change. I might be able to show up more consistently because I have more time and space. Maybe now I have 2 kids and it's shifting the way that I get to show up for myself. Well, it's phases. Our body goes through phases. And also know that pain is part of the human experience. And having grace and compassion for that is necessary, because we don't know what feels good and what we get to move into if we don't experience pain. We don't know what could be restricting or what could be weak if sometimes our body isn't talking to us that we're in pain.
Everyone's journey is individual. Another thing that we've pointed out in the Optimal Body membership or the Jen platform is we're really trying to attack the individuality of your journey and help you become aware of what you need to do, not what someone else tells you that you should do, not what a provider tells you, oh, this works for everybody. You know exactly what you need to start attacking.
And that's why I love the Optimal Body membership in itself, because, okay, I know it's a lot of information, right? But you don't have to go in and do everything. Maybe you just want to say like, okay, this month, I'm just going to explore my mobility. I like these mobility exercises that are in this month, so I just want to continue to explore. And then the thing that I introduce in the introductory videos on every program in the Jen platform, because those are a little bit more individualized in terms of like specific pain problems or issues you might be experiencing, is that I say, it's going to be a guided program. However, if you come up to a video and you're like, this isn't needed in my body, don't do it.
Yeah.
That's how you get to make it your own. Don't do what doesn't work. Keep what does.
Absolutely. So, looking at, in recap, the 5 points of awareness, consistency, developing accountability or community, knowing that you need to have grace and compassion for yourself throughout that journey. And it's going to be a very individual journey and process
that you get to continue to explore and make your own. It's a lifelong journey.
Again, we are encouraging everybody, for this last time that we're running a huge deal on the Optimal Body membership for $162 for all 12 months of the first year of content.
For everything.
Get in now. Link in the show notes. Sign up for that, and you will notice over the next year, especially once the platform comes out and gives you just that much more resources and that many more tools that you can start to slip into your journey, it's worth it. So those are your 5 tips to developing your optimal body. We hope you learned something. We really do believe that you can find your way in your own individual journey through the Optimal Body membership and future Jen platform. So get in it now. You can grab the link right down here. If you have any other questions about the platform, about the membership itself, please leave us comments, subscribe, because we will keep coming at you with these PT pearls.